Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of GSC's Girl Pod. If you've been watching up until now, then you know that I am Candy and I am joined by V. How you doing today, V?
I'm very well, thank you, Candy. How are you?
I'm good. I am so ready to continue our conversation from last week, but on the other side. But before we jump into all that, of course, we have to give you all the spiel just in case this is the first time you're tuning in. What has started was a small joke where V missed one episode of the news podcast and we just jumped all over it and decided to grow this into our own podcast where we'll talk about gaming from our girl perspectives. But before we start, if you're not already following the YouTube, make sure to click that subscribe button. If you're listening to this on Spotify or your favorite podcast service, subscribe. Get it every week. You'll also get the weekly news podcast every week if you subscribe, as well as the party chat. And if that's not enough, because maybe you just need more gaming news, then make sure you check out gamersocialclub.ca. That's the website we write for. That's how we ended up getting to know each other. That's how this whole thing happened. So go see all the history and go see the editorials, the guides, the news, the reviews, the opinions written for gamers by gamers. So you know that we're always being honest and giving you just the news, no rumors. We do not do the rumor thing. It could probably get us lots of clicks, but that's not honest and that's not our vibe. So if you want just the hard facts, maybe some opinions, and again, of course, those reviews, check out the site. So that's our intro. And on to the important stuff, like what are you drinking today, V?
Today I have a beer, but this time it does not taste of any fruit or baked goods. It is not a sour. It's a sidestep IPA from Dot Brewery, which is a lovely little Irish brewery. Um, and there's a little bit of fruit behind this. It's like a very nice IPA. Might be a bit too bitter for you. But yeah, there's a little bit of fruit in it, but very hoppy, a little bit bitter, something nice and cold and refreshing for a Saturday evening in the UK.
Nice.
Would recommend. What about you? What are you drinking today?
I'm keeping it pretty casual and chill. I just have a Malibu and Diet again. Um, just we've had this bottle of Malibu for I think like a year. We had bought it because we were gonna potentially be making what the best way to sort of describe it is like a Puerto Rican eggnog. So it's called coquito. And so we had bought that, but we had what I didn't know is that we had other rum for it already. So we never actually needed the Malibu. So it's just been sitting here and I'm like, I'll just a little bit here, a little bit there. Every once in a while, like crack it open. And it's not super hot today somehow, even though it's August. Um, so it's like a
How is it August? That's
I
obscene.
I don't know. That's the one downside about having a late July birthday, that then you realize, oh, August is right around the corner, and that means the end of summer is right around the
Yeah.
corner. But it's
Okay.
okay. It's okay. But yeah, so I'm just keeping it pretty chill with that today. Relaxed, enjoyable, not like crazy strong, but very flavorful.
Yeah.
Enjoy the
Did
summer
you
with my coconut.
did you finish your lovely sake from last week?
I did not actually. And I thought about breaking that out, but I was like, maybe tonight I'll convince Sean that maybe we should get some sushi or something, and then maybe I'll finish that
Yeah.
up with that. Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good plan. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's the sake was very good, um, and I got through a good chunk of it, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I kind of want to pair it with like what it feels like it really should be paired with.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm.
So maybe we'll do that tonight. Um, I'll try to convince him.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it won't take much convincing. Sushi's amazing. So, be like, oh, we can have some sake, get some sushi. Come on. Like, that sounds like a great Saturday night.
Right?
Like,
Great Saturday night in. Um, speaking of, I'm gonna use that actually. Sake, sushi, Japanese things. My fantasy guest pitch is actually someone who's also Japanese. So
perfect segue.
it is. I'm gonna use that. It's not a voice actor this time. The fantasy guest pitch that I am pitching this time is the creator of Danganronpa and 100 Line Academy and upcoming Shuten Order Kodaka-san, because my god, I don't know if that man sleeps, because literally it's like, so this year is actually Danganronpa's 15-year anniversary, which is crazy to me to think about.
Yeah, that is wild, actually. I would never have. Oh, no. It's August and things have been around for 15 years. Like, I
Right.
can feel myself aging just sitting in a chair.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. Right. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you'll see that behind me I have a Monokuma. It's a little harder to see, but Monomi from the second one is also there, right? So I'm a huge Danganronpa fan. So then of course, Danganronpa comes out, 100 Line Academy comes out, and then they just had, it's been out for a little over 100 days at the time of this recording, because they had a 100-day live chat, right?
yeah.
Where thankfully, and I'm very, very happy, thankfully the game sold very well, because it was a massive undertaking by 2Kyo Games, which is who, developed and published it. And there were some concerns that if it didn't do well, company might not still be around. And it did well. Great. Maybe it did too well, because now they're like, well, we're gonna write all these prequels, and like, and obviously some of it is very hopeful, but there's talk about prequels, there's talk about DLC. I'm like, there's already 100 routes in this game, and I've only gotten to like 15 of them, and you're talking
Could
about
you not?
DLC.
It's like, please, please, you want him on the podcast, so you could just be like, please don't do this. Please don't
So
do
you
this
just be
to
like,
me.
how does your brain come up with this, right? And then, to know that we went from the 100 Line Academy to then another game that's coming out later this year, Shuten Order, which I'm very excited about. Actually, I think it's end of September. And that one is multiple genres in one game, which is really
Okay.
interesting. So one plays almost like a stealth sort of, Metal Gear type, right? And then one
Yeah.
route is going to play more of like your visual novel type. And I'm like, that's a really interesting way of thinking about one game, but almost like four games within it. Um, but I'm just like, do you sleep? Where do you come up with these scenarios from? Like, how, and I'm sure that some of this has been talked about with him, but a lot of it has been talked with him in Japanese, right? Because a lot of these games, while they have a fan base in the Western audience, right,
Yeah.
have only, I feel like, really more recently started to grow in popularity in that sort of a way.
Yeah.
So
So I've never played Danganronpa. I've never played a Danganronpa game. Like,
if you like visual novels, right?
mhm.
I think they're really worth it. Um I will say the basic premise for anybody who has no idea what Danganronpa is there are students who wake up inside of a high school, and they are involved in a murder game, right? So the way that they can get out is they have to get away with murdering somebody. Right now, obviously, you put a bunch of kids in a school together. Not everyone's going to be so game to do that. So then, of course, there are characters who are trying other ways to get out, right? Or
Okay.
trying to figure out like what is actually going on. And every chapter, there's some other level of finding out what's going on in the larger world.
Yeah.
And each of these students is considered like an ultimate in something. So, like, one of them is the ultimate uh, fortune teller, right? The character that you play as in the first one is the ultimate lucky student, right? Where he just happens to be really lucky. The ultimate baseball player, the ultimate like wrestler, right? So they each have these sort of archetypes that then they follow, and your goal is somebody will die and you have to solve the mystery so that you don't lose the game. And obviously,
Right.
it gets progressively more intense from there. And you find out why this is happening throughout the sequence of really, really the first two games tell you why that's happening. And then there is an anime series that is
Yeah.
sort of the third one. because
Hmm.
it follows those two stories. Then there's a third game that is
Yeah.
like really truly sort of separate from what they call the Hope's Peak storyline. There's also a spin-off that does not play like true visual novel style, where you're playing as the sister of the character from the first game, but you're seeing what's happening in the outside world. So there's a lot of world building that has gone in with this. Um, I have cosplayed Junko, who's one of the characters from the first game, which is part of the reason I have that Monokuma. But
Right.
just really enjoy the game. But then sometimes I'm like, this is a little like twisted. Like, how did you think about this, and what's that development like, and do you ever like have nightmares about some of this? Because that first the first death in the first game, somebody died, you go to the trial, if you solve it right, you see that person get punished, which is an execution. The first time I saw that execution, I had a visceral reaction because I was like,
Yeah.
I can, and I for anybody who's ever going to play it, I don't want to spoil it, but I was like, I can imagine having this happen to me because on a much smaller scale, I've had something like that happen, right? And anybody who plays the game and gets that far will sort of know what it's like to be, you know, accidentally hit by something. And then just to have that happen over and over until death, right? You can sort of feel that, right? So
Yeah.
I just remember sitting there and being like, oh God.
Yeah. That sounds pretty grim.
It is, but yet I finished the first one. I was like, I need the second one, and I need the third one, and like, and now anything that this man puts out, like, I'm gonna play. Um, so really, just like his process, like the reaction to everything, it coming this far, 15 years, and really seeing that sort of slow growth, because I think that's what's really interesting. This
Yeah.
slow growth that some of the series have had. Um, you know, and I think especially I remember when Squid Games, the TV series, really was huge, and people were like, "Oh my God, this idea of like a murder game and all this, like, you know," and I'm like, "But this has been going on for a long time, especially in like, more Eastern media and Eastern games,
Yeah.
and like, let's not forget the movie Battle Royale and stuff like that, right?"
Classic. An
Right.
absolute classic. One of my favorite movies and books, actually. It's
Yes.
great. Like,
Yes. Right. So I'm like, this premise is not new, right? But has it been really mainstream in the Western media besides maybe like Hunger Games, which obviously also came out after some of these things, right?
yeah.
So, it's like I would love to ask, like, did something like Squid Games starting to open up people's eyes to different murder games or different things like that? Like, did you see a growth? Did you see an impact? Like, just the cultural impact that Danganronpa has had. Like, I can't go to a convention, whether it's an anime convention or a gaming convention or not, and not see at least one character from Danganronpa, which I think is great. I would love to see more of them. Please, if you're a cosplayer,
Yeah.
please do more, right? But I think it's really cool to see that these characters have grown beyond just this niche audience. And how does that
Yeah.
feel being the person who brought them to life? And then what comes
Yeah.
next? Like, can you ever top that?
Mm.
Right. And I haven't even talked about Shinigami from Rain Code. If you want to see some wild fan service in a game, uh, Rain Code is
Okay.
another detective game, not a murder mystery in the same sort of way. But the character of Shinigami starts out
Mhm.
as just this little floating ghost thing. Great. Um, when you enter a different world, she is a very voluptuous gothic mommy.
Yep, which we
Um,
love. We love a
which we
voluptuous
love.
gothic mommy. Like,
We love this, right? Um, there is a sword that you use when you are in this other world. In order to get this sword, the character, yeah, you're already laughing. The character literally takes their hand and puts their hand like all the way down her throat to pull this sword out of her body. And I kid you not, I did not realize the first time that it happened, but I think it was like the second time that it happened. I was like, wait a second. As this is happening, she's moaning, right? Like, as this sword is coming out, you literally hear it, and I was just like, what? Hold on, right? I was like, okay, okay.
That's the moment that someone walks into the room. Like, what the fuck are you doing? It's just like, nothing.
it's it's like a very quick, but it's like I was like, oh, yeah, I guess, okay. And then there's like a mini game that like she helps you solve, what you're trying to solve, but the mini game she's like in a barrel, and you have to shoot the right letters on the barrel, and she's in a bathing suit in the barrel, and then she gives you this pose like when you finish solving it, and of course it's like. You see the booba, you see the legs, you see this, right? So I'm like, okay, it's
Yeah,
very fan servicey, and I still had a hell of a time at the game, right? Still loved it. Um, but so like those
I
sorts
just
of
looked it up on
things.
Steam, and one of the screenshots is her as Gothic Mummy, and like um her full get up, just saying, "I'm so horny for mysteries right now," like,
It's a
which just
hell of a
sounds
game.
perfect. It sounds great. Like, I love it.
I I love like my mysteries, my murder mysteries,
Mm,
solving things, puzzles, right? So that is amazing. But
yeah.
my gosh, right? Like that's why I want to be like these characters. Like where's this coming from, right? Like
Yeah.
and and then in 100 Line he really kind of pokes fun at the Danganronpa fandom with one of the characters, which I
Yeah.
think is really interesting. So I'd love to hear those dynamics. And I could go on and on about his games and like, all the things, but I would love like that's someone who like I would love to just like sit and talk to and just be like, let me see your brain.
Yeah. What is wrong with you? And why is the same thing wrong with me? Like,
Literally.
explain this to me. Like,
Literally. Like whatever is in
oh no.
there is also here. How?
Yeah, yeah,
Why?
yeah. No, that sounds really interesting. I would love to watch that because I also love murder mysteries, but haven't obviously played like Danganronpa or anything like that. But I grew up watching like loads of like Agatha Christie and stuff like that with my
Mm-hmm.
mum. So it'd be fun just to see the really stark contrast between, those which are very like, oh, quite serious. Don't take like, I love Poirot. Poirot doesn't take himself too seriously because it's just like with his silly little moustache, like is great. But just the contrast in it and like how that genre is looked at from a completely different cultural lens, especially with
Yeah.
like murder games and high school students and things like that. It's like, did you make this because you wanted to kill someone in high school? Is this what this is? Like, because I mean, I know definitely would have killed someone in high school if given the opportunity, just
Is
like
this your
you
therapy?
specifically. Like, but yeah, so yeah, no, that would be really interesting. I'll have to pick up. I think Danganronpa was on Game Pass for a while. I don't know if it's still there, but if it is, I'll have to pick it up
Yeah, I think
because
it
I'm a big
was for
fan
a
of like
while.
the Ace Attorney games and all that as well. So like a mystery solving visual novel, always a good
Yes.
time. I think. Yeah.
That's
Mm.
that's really what it is. Mystery solving visual novel that's a little bit bloodier than, some of these other ones, right?
Yeah.
Which I love, and it's it's also really interesting. Obviously there's like the very famous like Doki Doki with like the contrast of like it's cute and it's anime and then it's dark, right? With
Yeah.
like and obviously if you don't know that much about Doki Doki, then you don't know why it gets dark and all the other things that happen. Whereas like Danganronpa, you go into it knowing that it is going to be dark, right?
Yeah.
And even though vividly, and even again for a 15-year-old game, my goodness, right? The art style for the most part has not changed for Godaka. I think it's like that style that he has in his games, when you're playing a game that he has had his hands on, right?
Yeah.
But that art style 15 years later still really stands up, right? And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
it's amazing, right? So it's like to see that style, and then even in like Danganronpa, the blood is not red, it's pink, right? So there's these elements of like, well, it's not gory, and it's still kind of cute, right? So it is that real difference of how we would see something, you know, and especially 15 years ago, right? How we would see something in the West versus how it was treated in the East, and how it's grown and really outside of that market now. And I'm
Yeah.
like so here for it. excited to see what they do if they release anything new for the 15th anniversary. The English voice actor of Monokuma keeps posting like Monokuma gifs,
Yeah.
and like a date. So I'm like, okay, so it feels like there's something, but what is it?
Yeah. What are you going to do? Like, because well, I know it has an anniversary edition, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if they do that for like some of the other ones, potentially, I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, what are you gonna
So
do? Let me know. I'm gonna write about it. What are you gonna do?
yeah, yeah. We will cover it on the site. Like, don't worry, we've got you. Like,
All right. Do you need me to dress up as Junko as I write it? I'll do it. Just tell me what you're gonna do so I can have it prepped.
yeah, just let us know. Like, give us the scoop. Breaking news. This is what's happening with Danganronpa. Like, for the anniversary, we've got you. We'll do it. Like,
I will do it. I will do a wonderful retrospective on those games. What do you want? What Kodaka, what will it take to get you on the podcast? Because I will do it.
yeah, just let us know. Get someone to write in your list of requests. We'll make it happen so that you can come and join us on
I'm
the
in.
podcast. Like,
We need a translator. I'll find a translator. I'll figure it out. I
yeah,
will.
we can do that.
I will
Like,
pay for Japanese lessons. I don't. I mean, I follow him on Twitter, so I know there's definitely like a level of like English there. Do I need to talk slower? Do I like? I will figure it out. I will do it. Whatever it takes. I'm
yeah,
in.
yeah, just come on to the podcast. It'll be great. You'll have a great time. You can have like we can talk about whatever you're drinking that week. Come on, like it'll be great.
100%. 100%. Yeah, that's my fantasy guess. So I know a little different. We've done a lot of voice actors before and shifted gears a little bit, but that's like a
yeah,
real that's like a dream. Like, please, somebody make it happen.
yeah. You know what to do. You know what to do. Go get on Twitter. Like, see if we can make this happen. It'd be great. Like,
Yes. But yeah, that's my pitch. I just want to talk to him, help. Like I joke, and there's someone in like my streaming community who jokingly is like, "You're an influencer." I'm like, "No, I'm not." He's like, and she says, "Yes, you are because you made me play Danganronpa." So, and I have not that I have made her play Danganronpa, right? I have not made her play Danganronpa. However, in talking about it so much, she has chosen to do so.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. She's not the first person that I've convinced to play Danganronpa. So I am here slowly making more people play the game. Just
Everyone, I'm going to play Danganronpa. We're going to get everyone on the website to play Danganronpa. Like, come on. Like,
come on the
it's the
podcast.
least you can do. Like,
We'll continue to grow it out.
let us know in the comments if Candy has also made you play Danganronpa. Like, we need to know how big the cult is. Like,
I mean, I should not have that sort of power because I will continue
I
to
will abuse
I
it.
will be like, play this game. Like, you need to play at least the first one. And if you want more fan service, then play Danganronpa S, where you're playing a board game and there's a lot of time of them on the beach. Full on beach episode game.
I love beach episode games. Like, it's
So
great. Great.
I'm just saying. But yeah, so that's my that's my guest pitch. And I'm gonna let you sort of lead this next piece because you led it last week. And we did say last episode, in all fairness, right? And talking about gooning and gooner games and gooner approved, that we were gonna play a very specific game that
Yep.
people have called like the gooner game for women.
Yes, that is true. We did do that. Because yeah, and you're right. I did go on quite a emphatic rant about why gooning is fine, like, and stop being afraid of big titty anime women. They can't hurt you. They don't exist. Like,
It's
the big
true.
titty anime women are not real and they cannot hurt you. It's fine. Like, but yeah, we did say last week we were going to play Love and Deepspace, which is again a visual novel. It is mobile only, I believe, because I couldn't find it. I had to download it on my
Yeah.
phone. And it's made by the same team. Oh, what's the name of the game company? It's the same team that made Infinity Nikki.
Infold.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Enfold. So I think a lot of their games are supposed to be tailored towards the female audience, which I think is great. but they just seem to have a very different idea of what the female audience is compared to my personal tastes. Now, if you love and Deepspace and you love like Infinity Nikki, like dress up games and stuff, I'm not gonna be like you're not a real gamer, obviously not. They're really popular, and I'm sure they're popular with lots of people, not just women.
Mm-hmm.
But what is this game? Like, I need someone who plays it and enjoys it to explain to me how that these five different men who all have the same face are somehow like peak like women fantasy, because I don't get it. One, just I don't know. They all look the same. They look exactly the same. They just have different colors of hair. I'm sure the fans of each individual character will be very mad at me for saying
They'll
that.
know all the individual differences.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
know.
They'll have, yeah. One of them has glasses, like because he's a doctor. Like, okay, there you go. One of them's got curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like what is it? What is the appeal here? I don't see, like I've not played a huge amount of it, presumably because it is a gacha game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably the intention is to give them quite a lot of money to get to the parts that you could potentially goon to. Like, but currently all I've done is do some weird combat, like that comes out of nowhere, like in random bits of the chapter. And tap a man as he comes into a cafe. Like, what is this? Like, so it's just like, they come into the cafe, you can meet them in the cafe, and then it's like, here's all the ways you can interact. And it's like, just tap them or caress them, but it's just you, just,
Just sliding against.
like, what do you want? Like, that's so weird. And then you can go on dates with them, but
Mm-hmm.
like, the dates seem very simple. Like towards the start of the game, you go on like a photo date, but it's not a photo date. It's like a dress up date for then photos.
Okay, so that's the
Um.
photo mode. So I did do one of the dates, although
Okay.
it was like a. It's funny because I know they call it a date because there's like the interaction back and forth. Um, so I met up with Zane for lunch, but I
To be
didn't
fair,
mean to
he's the
meet him
only
for
one
lunch.
that I liked.
Yes, yes. If I have to pick one, he's the one, right? And so my character, or anybody who's playing it who gets the scene will have the same thing. My character is supposed to go get lunch, doesn't realize what, like, I think she like loses track of time because she's getting ready for her exam. Um, and she goes to the cafe and there is no seats, they're full. But then Zane is there and Zane says, yes, you can sit here. And then it's like the interactions between them two because they have a
Yeah.
history, right? And you know, I did take okay, so I took one screenshot in this game, and if I can remember to do it in editing this, I'll try to put the screenshot somewhere on the screen. Um, and the screenshot that I took though was not of Zane. It's that he was sitting there next to a window and there's a tuxedo cat in the window. I took a screenshot of the tuxedo
Just like, this is so boring. Oh, cat.
cat.
Like,
Right? So then it's like you get to choose the interactions with him. Um, you know, it's awkward because you're both just sitting there and he's currently your doctor and he's really strict with you as your doctor. But then he invites you to sit for lunch, but he doesn't really talk to you. So do you stay quiet and eat, or do you like hold a conversation? And then the food comes and you're reminiscing about how he used to send you these like seals because you saw it as him making fun of you after an aquarium trip. He was doing it to be cute and get your attention, which of course you don't find out till like the end of the date. All right, so it's like figuring out their like relationship, right? And obviously this is early in the game, so
yeah.
it's not the spicy scenes, right?
No.
Because I have seen some other ones online, which I probably can't even get at this point because they were probably like 5 stars that you had to unlock and win and blah 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 blah, right? Where it's like literally two people about to bang, right? You and
Fade to
whichever
black.
character it is, and then it'll like fade to black, but occasionally you'll see him like picking the character up and putting her like I think it was on the couch, and then you push him down, and he says, no, you can't be in control, I'm not ready to give you control. And but the other thing too is like, a lot of this, I hope people are watching this on YouTube to see your reactions, right?
It just sounds so cringe. Like I can't. I'm going to die. Like
Well, because again, a lot of it is also that like husky, like breathy breathing, right? It's like, yes, and it's literally just a lot like, right? It's just a lot of that breathing that's happening, right? It's like, no, you can't have control. And it's just like, so it's just breath and like, and then when you lean into kiss, it's like the black screen, and it's like, oh, you're not done yet, okay, like, and it's just all of these
no,
moments.
not allowed.
And it's hysterical to me, right? And it's like, and like, it's funny because I'm sitting there, and I found this scene online, right? And I'm watching it, and I'm like smiling, but I'm not smiling because I'm like, oh, this is so sexy. I'm smiling because it's like, this is cringe, but there are people out there that are like, this is it. This is for me. And like, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but I need an explanation of how this is your yum. Like, that's
Yes,
what I
that's what
need.
yeah, that's exactly what I need because for me, and especially the weird thing is because I keep seeing people recommend it on like there's a subreddit called Girl Gamers, and people recommend it all the time, and they're like a lot of that subreddit is like talking about games that are supposed to be like for women or
Mm-hmm.
women would like or empowering for women, and it's like I don't really understand how being like this meek little anime girly who like is basically told to be quiet and stuff like that and not do things
Mm-hmm.
by um by these guys. Like how is that empowering at all, like in any shape or form? Like or just like, oh, you can't have like
Yeah, I
like
and I don't, and again, I haven't gotten far enough to like know if each character is that way, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, maybe there is a character that relinquishes control if that's what you're looking for, right? And I know there's like, the other thing that I feel like I haven't gotten far enough to understand is these multiple universes, because it feels like there are multiple universes that these characters are finding each other in, because as of right now, the banner that you can pull on is the king and queen, and I can't remember which character it is, the guy with the white hair. um Obviously,
Xavier.
yeah, because I'm like, obviously it's not Zane because I can't remember anybody else's name, right? So
I only
um
remember Xavier's name because the first thing he does when he messages you, because they text you, is he
mhm.
leaves you a voice note, and I'm like, in the trash, straight in the fucking bin. Absolutely not. I hate voice notes. I hate it when anyone sends me voice notes. Like my best friend sometimes will send me a voice note, and then she will message being like, "Apologies, I know you hate voice notes. However, like, and I will tolerate it from her and from her only." Like, but I was just like, well, I'm not dating you. I'm going to date the really mean doctor guy because like at least he has a fucking conversation with me via text message and uses proper punctuation.
Yes, oh my god. And that's why I'm like, there's 5 of them, so maybe there's like, an archetype that relates for other people, right? Obviously, especially in some of this media, that you have like the tsundere and you have the yandere, and like, you have all these different, types of characters. So like, maybe as you continue to meet them, you can finally kind of see where they fit in that, and then figure out like, okay, this one's not for me, this one is. um so maybe that's part of it. But it I was just like, what is happening, that then there's these other universes that these characters are meeting, and then you can have those versions of the characters that like are around, or you can have the scenes with them. And maybe I just haven't played far enough to understand how that is all happening.
Yeah.
um One thing that I did have that you probably haven't had yet, because they ask you to put in your birthday, right? So of course I put in my birthday.
Yeah.
Well, within 15 days of your birthday, you get special scenes for your birthday.
Yay!
So so of course
What
we're
did you
like,
get for your birthday?
so you're like in the cafe with them, and they will like sing to you for your birthday, and not all voice actors have great voices, let me tell you. Right? And they do give you a gift, which is something that you can use for the gotcha system. Um, and they just keep talking about how it's your birthday and like, oh, well, let me do this with you for your birthday, or let me treat you to this, right? And it's like, look, I like attention as much as the next person, but my God, it is like too much, right?
Yeah.
From I think it is Xavier where it's just like, oh, and I'm like, whatever, Xavier, like, shut up. At least the doctor is like, oh, did you enjoy this dessert? And I'm like, yes, thank you. Not like I need to spend all day. I'm like, thank you. Yes, I enjoyed this dessert. This is wonderful. Um, and I will say I haven't done the birthday scene with Raphael because I was like, I don't get your appeal, bro. I don't know if I even want to do the birthday scene, but I kind of do want the goodie that like you'll give
Yeah.
me. Um, you know,
You can't say it like that. That makes it sound like something else. You can't
I'm
say that.
listen, for some people they want the goodie in the gift wrap box, and for some people they want the goodie in the bedroom. Whatever. I'm not here to yuck your yum. Whatever you want.
Yeah,
Whatever you
if you want the good scenes with Raphael, we're not telling you that you're weird. We're just saying that we personally don't understand. Like,
Yeah, I'm like I'm good. So but yeah, so that's really the combat is also like, I mean, I've played games like that have but I'm like, this sort of it it feels like this weird hybrid between an action RPG and an otome game.
yeah, yeah, the combat sort of came out of nowhere. Like
Yes.
when you were doing like the first sort of tutorial bit, and it's like, and here's some combat, and I was like, wait, what am I playing? I thought I was playing like hot men visual novel,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like, no, but there's wanderers and they eat light, maybe, um, and you have to shoot them because you have magical powers. And I was just
Yes.
like, what is going on? What is this? Like, this is so. And then you like your your boyfriend just is there also, and he also has magical powers. Like, we all have magical powers, and then we're all just shooting things for no. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I'm sure the story, but presumably because it's a gacha game, you have to play it for so long to even make
Right.
any sense of the story. And I don't think that's why people are playing it.
No. I feel like people are probably like powering through the combat just to get more goods to do more pulls and like just balancing out that way. It's just like and the
So
this
they can breathe into their phone down
yes.
like because apparently that's also a mechanic because it comes up when they're in the cafe. It's like, here's all the ways you can interact, and then it's like if you get close you can like feel
Yes.
their heartbeat, or you can like breathe into your phone at these animated men. And I was like, I was playing this in a pub, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I come to this pub all the time. If someone comes in and I'm like, uh stroking my phone, like, I'll be banned from the pub. Like, this is not appropriate, but it's also not hot. Why are you breathing at fictional men on your phone? Like,
It's just like it's so crazy to me, right? Because I'm like, I know there are other like otome games where it's not that intense, right? And visually, yes, as far as graphics go, the game is beautiful graphic
oh yeah,
wise, right? Like, kind of surprising that it's only on the phone. I almost feel
yeah.
like the only reason that it's I almost feel like the only reason it's only on the phone is because they don't want people modding it out to have like the dirtiest things with these characters, right? Now, obviously there are still ways to do it with apps that are on your phone, but I'm sure like the everyday person is not going to be downloading a whole bunch of mods to their phone for a game, whereas like
Yeah.
they might seek it out for something on a PC, right?
Yeah,
So
we do not recommend adding like dick pic mods to Love and Deepspace. Like,
no, please don't.
but presumably the people that are playing this and think it is super hot. That's like, I'm not going to say I enjoy dick pic. I don't think many women do, to be honest. Like, And you never get sent them by anyone you would ever want to see naked either. It's just always some random. And then you open your Twitter like messages and you're like, fucking hell. Like you just like
Literally.
throw the phone out the window, get out of here, like stop it. But
So true.
but yeah, but yeah, I don't think if your idea of, you know, what is like because it's not a porn game, but you know, if your idea of this
Mhm.
is your idea of romance and this is what gets you going, then probably they're not modding that into it,
Yeah.
presumably.
I would
Um,
assume. I would assume, but for every like 50 of the people who are like, this is enough, there's the one person who's like, I'm gonna push the boundary. But it's a lot
yeah,
harder on a phone than
yeah.
it will be like on a PC. Right. But just
Cracking your phone for dev mode so you can see full frontal, just get decked down in Love and
so you don't
Deepspace.
close your eyes when you go to kiss them.
Yeah, just like, okay, where's the deck though? Where's that D? Show it to me. Like,
It's just like it's so interesting because I hear people talk about this game and like be obsessed with this game, right? And there are people that are like, this game has become their like whole personality, and it's like I have to celebrate this character's birthday and I want to do this, and like this reminds me of them. And like you go to like some conventions and there is so much merch around this game, right? And just so much artwork and fan stuff, and I'm just like, why? Right? Like,
yeah,
and maybe, and like I think the thing is too, like, I don't mind gotcha games, and I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like, this game sucks, but I also haven't gotten to the point where I'm like, I love this game, right? So I still feel
yeah,
very sort of middle of the road, and I want to play it a little bit longer to be like, okay, like what is it? Like what is the point where it really feels like it grabs people? And maybe it's because I haven't unlocked all of the guys, right?
yeah,
And I haven't unlocked all of the scenes. And obviously I'm not going to unlock all the scenes because I'm not spending money on this game. But like maybe there's something that will feel like, oh, this feels cool. Like, and I don't even mind the combat. It just feels like the combat sometimes comes out of nowhere. Like I actually was playing it earlier this morning, but I was like, well, now I'm just doing the combat. Like I'm not even doing the story or like
yeah,
the date scenes because I was like, the combat feels really fun, right?
yeah,
So I'm like, but then it feel so that's why I feel like it's like this weird mix of the two because I'm like, well,
yeah,
and and to go to the game that we talked about last week, like with with Wu Chang, like the combat is integral to it, right? It feels, and I haven't played it, but from everything that I've seen, because I've watched people play it, it is much smoother. Of like, yes, you can play dress up with this character, and yes, you can do these things, right? And yes, you can make
yeah,
her as hot and like as you want to see her, but doesn't feel it doesn't feel disruptive to the gameplay.
yeah,
Whereas like for this one, I feel like if you're looking for the story, then the combat feels disruptive. And if you're just enjoying the combat, the story feels irrelevant.
yeah, yeah. Because it's just, well, it's to set up the world, but the real meat of the game is to date these men that all look the exact same. They're all the same man. I
Yeah.
just looked up online because I was curious about it because we were talking about some people probably want more than this, and we are absolutely right. There are 3,415 explicitly rated fan fictions about Love and Deepspace on AO3.
Mm-hmm.
So and there's some tags here. So I don't know how spicy it gets, but there's like some people that are obviously it's not spicy enough because they are people be writing some stuff like
I mean, and I'm sure you get that 5-star memory that it gets real spicy. And I've seen a few things like I saw on Trash Taste where it was like this guy was gonna, I don't know if he was necessarily gonna kill you or attack you or whatever, and I don't remember which one it was, but you had to like
ooh, a
calm
bit
him
of
down.
enemies to lovers.
Yeah. And you had to like calm him down, and one of the ways you had to calm him down was like you had to rub his chest, and like most of his chest is all exposed, right? But I'm like, okay, by rubbing his chest, you're literally taking your hand to your phone and just like so it's like and I get it. There's no other way to simulate it for a game like that, right? I totally get it. But So it's like there are moments that I guess are like the, you know, danger is hot, danger turns me on, danger is right. So there's definitely things like that, and then
Yeah,
there's like the scene where the guy is like, I'm not giving you control, and you literally see him pick you up and put you in the bed, and you see him like kissing all up and down your leg and like getting toward, you know. So it's like
yeah,
there are these like moments of, I don't even want to call them like hot, maybe sensual is more of the
yeah.
word, right? So I can see where some people are like, this is great. I guess you know what? Maybe this is the next generation or evolution of 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh,
Remember when
oh
50
no.
Shades of Grey came out? But remember when that came out and so many people were like, "Oh my god, this is so sexy. This is so right?" And there was that
Yeah,
like uprising and not uprising, but there was all this talk about like sexuality and the female perspective and all this other stuff, right? Because so many women were
yeah,
reading it. Is this maybe the next generation's version of that? Because unlike us, they're not on Tumblr seeing things, right? So this is now showing them like, here are these even though it's these men who look very very similar, minus maybe their eye color is different or their hair color is different or one is curly or one is not, right? Seeing them in these different scenarios is exposing them to not a full on kink, but maybe different things that they didn't quite know about themselves. And the people who are more open to exploring that might be those same people that are writing that fan fiction.
yeah. Well, the definitely the people that are writing the fan fiction have definitely got some kinks. Um, Although I think people that have been writing fan fiction always have. And if you've ever read fan fiction, you'll be aware that you can get some pretty mild fan fiction. You can get fan fiction that's not sexual at all, but you can
Mm-hmm.
also get some fucked up fiction. So venture onto AO3 at your own risk.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, and if I ask you if you're an adult and you are not, please do not say yes because you'll rot your brain. Stop it. Like, stop being horny on the internet. Like,
Literally. You're the
but yeah,
reason we have these laws coming into place.
uh, thankfully, the fan fiction hasn't been touched as of yet. I can still
Yeah.
read my smut in peace. The UK government has not stopped me from reading smut on my phone.
We
But
should just be happy people are still reading, okay? Let's be real.
yeah, yeah. To be fair, I don't care what you want to read, as long as you're reading, as long as you're
Mm-hmm.
literate and you can read. I'm happy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
read whatever you want.
Big
But yeah,
facts.
I do. Yeah, I do remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out because it was. I've read a lot of fan fiction for a lot of years,
Mm-hmm.
so um, uh, and it may have also rotted my brain. Who knows? But yeah, there was because 50 Shades of Grey is Twilight fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
That was then all the names were changed. Um, and the weirdest thing about it was the amount of like at the time, like women who were like middle age compared to me, reading just smut, just full
Mm-hmm.
smut, like not like Mills and Boone smut, like sensual, like just pornography,
Right.
um, very openly and being really fucking horny about it all
Mm-hmm.
the time. And it was like, oh, I don't like, yeah, I don't mind you being a bit horny, but like, could you not be a bit horny at work? Like, could you stop talking to me about this pornography book at work? And also, I don't want to read it because, as far as I've heard, it's badly written fan fiction.
Mm-hmm. That's what
Pull the
I've
pen out
heard.
again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pointing the pen again. It's badly written fan fiction, but it's also a really terrible representation of like BDSM as a community and consent and etc. etc.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which again makes it quite interesting to see, what some of these spicy scenes and like Love and Deepspace and stuff like that are, if it is like, you know, people being berated and you can't have control and etc.
Right.
etc. Not saying that it necessarily goes into any sort of like non-consent or even consensual non-consent or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not here, as we always say, we're not here to yuck your yum. I will never kink shame you. Like, unless your kink is 50 Shades of Grey, specifically the book, and then yes, I am shaming you. Like, but But yeah, so I wonder if it is just people who have never experienced anything like that. As you
Mm-hmm.
say, they've not seen Tumblr. They didn't look up like Naruto fan fiction when they were like 17,
Mm-hmm.
16, and then realize that everyone who writes fan fiction is an absolute fucking degenerate. Like, and then they are now being like, "Oh, this is a bit spicy, and I like this," and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to keep going with the gacha system, and yeah, maybe I will write my own fan fiction, with the tag "panty sniffing" on it. Yeah,
Again, if that's listen, if that is your thing, whatever, right? If it turns you on to think someone might be sniffing yours, or if you want to go and if you're in Japan, you want to go to the vending machine of used panties and buy one and sniff it, that's your prerogative, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna do it, but enjoy, I
no,
guess.
yeah, you have fun. You have fun writing about it, or buying the pants, or sending people your pants. I don't care what you're doing with your pants, to be perfectly honest.
No,
But yeah,
enjoy it. Enjoy it. Like it's just like like I almost think that might like this might be that next sort of evolution, right? And I know actually you guys didn't talk about this on the news podcast this week, right? But we won't do the news thing, but maybe that is because of all these like censorship things that are happening in people's ability to access certain things, right? Maybe that is why this is where people are getting that joy, right? Or that pleasure from,
yeah,
because there are more things that are like censored. There are more things that are harder to find, right? And this is a safe avenue to do that and to start to explore like what is your own sexuality? Like what does that look like for you, right? Like, you know, character wise, right? Again, like those archetypes of the yandere, tsundere, so on and so forth, right? Like what is it that you are attracted to? Again, in a safe space that is characters on your phone that are not real people, right?
yeah,
And what scenes turn you on or turn you off, right? I think if this is where you're getting some of that from and where you're enjoying some of that, right? And where you're learning about some of that, then I think one of the things that has to happen though is that you have to then also try your best to do some sort of research on what some of these things actually are like, right? Because I think that is where 50 Shades of Grey failed, right?
yeah,
Because obviously the writer was writing fan fiction, right? And again, I've never read it, but I've heard some of the criticisms, and I agree with some of the criticisms, right? Where it's like she never, it sounds like, didn't experience these types of things, but then wrote about I'll call it BDSM ish relationship, because again, it's not a very good, like,
no,
you know, picture of it, right? So that is where it's like, okay, well, now you need to actually do some research to see, like, is this what you thought it was, and not just write something. And if you do want to write something, that's fine, but then you
yeah,
can't call it this thing that already exists and has, really true safe ways of enjoying this. And I don't know that it was her intention to pass it off as such, but that's obviously like what it
yeah.
morphed into,
Yeah,
right?
she probably didn't. She probably just really wanted to fuck
Right. And
the guy from Twilight,
yeah,
Batman,
Edward.
Goth Batman. Yeah,
Well, Robert Pattinson, Edward, whatever. I don't know what you wrote it on. Did she write it with Robert Pattinson in mind or just the fictional character? I don't know.
I don't know. I've also never read Twilight, so like
Oh,
I don't.
I've read it. It's reading it at, I don't know how long ago did that come out. Reading it as a teenager and then trying to go back and
Don't.
read it, two very different things. I will say the best thing, maybe this is a hot take, okay? I'm gonna say there are two best things that have come out of Twilight. Okay? One, that first soundtrack was amazing, right? I don't care what anybody says. That soundtrack to Twilight was great. Okay? Like the second thing was that I feel like that really gave Rob Pattinson a boost to be the actor that he is today. Right? Because
Yeah,
yes, he was Cedric Diggory, but I think if he had just been Cedric Diggory and did not have Twilight, I don't think anybody would have remembered him.
No, probably not. Yeah, I also like the fact that he openly hates Twilight and openly hated it whilst he was doing it. So like just seeing him in interviews and stuff about it, and he's just like the worst thing in the world.
Mhm.
Like on the press tour, he's just like, yeah, no, this is abject trash. Like,
That man was
and
just
they're
an
just like,
actor trying to get a
oh.
paycheck.
Yeah, he was like, oh no, I'm sparkly vampire man. Oh no, I hate it here.
Like, I get you trying. Listen, you know what? That though, that is the most real thing, right? Like, I'm just trying to get
Get
paid.
your paycheck. Like, get your bag. We
Mhm.
appreciate it. Like,
Listen, you get your money, you get your paycheck, right? You are, I'm not gonna say he's like set for life off of just Twilight, right? Because I'm sure the
hmm,
contracts probably weren't great, especially at the beginning, right? But if it put you in a position where you could then be more selective and do the things that you actually want to do, right? I feel
yeah,
like that is the everyday person experience of somebody who has a job. Most people don't love their jobs, right? Let's be real.
yeah,
You take your job so that you can do the things that you love, right? Outside of the job or after you have enough cushion that you can try something new, right? Like I
yeah,
I know that a lot of facts and figures are made up and I'm about to make up a hell of a one, right? I'm going to assume that 85% of people who have a job don't love their job. Maybe they like it, maybe it's fine, but I'm assuming you don't love your job. You do it to get paid to love the rest of your life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of weird that we hold certain careers up as like you should love this,
Mhm.
and it's just like, can't someone just do something they're good at for money? Like,
Yes. Listen,
like,
work to live, not live to work.
yeah,
Okay?
absolutely. Can we? So, can we? I'm gonna. Can you make a voice note of that so I can send it to the leadership team at my job? Like,
I
just like,
You know what? Yes, I can make a voice note of that, and if you need a reminder at any point, I can also put it in the Gamer Social Club soundboard because Addie has one in here now too. Because I did make one for Addie.
don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
I
Tell him
already
you need
put
to
it.
edit this out.
I already put it. I already said it in Discord. I was like, look, I was like, this needs to
we,
play, and I tagged both Addie and Harry because I was like, I because when if you haven't watched,
you,
for those of you who are listening and have not watched the most recent episode of the weekly news show, and I know this is a tangent, but whatever, we're going on a tangent. Um, Harry was back at the at the helm, we'll say, hosting, opening it up, and could not get the introductions right, which I thought was hysterical, right? And just happened to say like the greatest showman, Addie like finally got something out and I was like, oh man, Addie needs like the sound alert of like the greatest showman, like needs that
yeah,
to play. And then when Addie was like, I'm adding it to my riser, I was like, you know what? I I could not focus on work at all while some of this conversation was happening. Not because I just could, not because the conversation was happening, but I don't like going to the dentist, and I had a dentist appointment that morning, and I went,
mm,
and then the stress and anxiety of being at the dentist just stuck with me like sort of all day, and I was like, I can't focus because I'm still sort of like coming down with that because I hate dentists and doctors and whatnot. Whole different story. But I was like, you know what? I could put this clip together and I could figure this out. So I literally like sat here and just got that audio piece. So I was like, all right, the next time Addie is sitting in an audio line, someone can go to the GSC soundboard and just play that, and that will be played for everyone to hear.
it will just be him though. You don't understand how much we have had to like ban Addy from using the soundboard at certain points. Like, he's only got limited usage of the soundboard during the podcast because if left to his own devices, he will just spam the soundboard for the entire. And I already 9 times out of 10 when Addy and I are on the news pod together. So again, if anyone watches it on YouTube, you will see that I like Harry plays a fantastic straight man, but I cannot sit with a straight face when Addy and I are on the news podcast together because he will do something and then I'll start sort of laughing and then he'll do more because he knows that I'm laughing and then we're both laughing. Like this week's one at the start, I think it was just right at the start of it, just before we even started. Like, Harry's super professional, and he's like counting us in, and then Annie did something, and then so the actual like first second of the podcast is
Oh yeah,
like
you guys are already
me just
laughing.
laughing. And then we figured out that Harry doesn't actually know anyone's name. Like,
That was
um,
hysterical to me. I was like gone for
it,
a week, and
who are
like
you people? Just like we're just his colleagues. We're just like faceless nobodies. Just like all times. But yeah, even anytime we're on the podcast beforehand, we sit and have like a good chat. And yeah, Addy does love the soundboard. So you've given him more stuff to the soundboard for us to just be like, Addy, you can't do that on the podcast though.
I mean, but now if everyone needs like a little intro, right? We can
Yeah.
clip like a little intro, so then Harry doesn't even have to do a full intro. Just be like, okay, and this is press the button, let it play, Addie, and
Just get all of us like really, really deadpan just to record our own names. It's just like V. Like you just be like, oh yeah, this is Addy. Like, and then you can just press the button. Like, and so he doesn't actually have to learn what any of us are called. Yeah.
Yes. There was, I know this is such a tangent, right? But there is an episode of The Simpsons years and years and years ago where they clearly recorded most of it before the Super Bowl aired, right? So for people who don't know, the Super Bowl is like the big football game, American football game that happens once a year. And I think this episode was supposed to air like after the Super Bowl or the week right after the Super Bowl. So, if you don't know who's going to win and you're doing this thing, right?
Yeah.
You see in a lot of these scenes, right? There will always be something that is blocking the mouth of the character, right? So it's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see like, the football game with my favorite team, the Atlanta Falcons, right? And it'll be like a drink, like it'll be like a cup that's in front of them, or it's always something that's blocking the view, so that way you didn't have to worry about the mouth flaps matching like the audio. So they must have recorded like a few different scenarios. But that is like that Harry could do that, just be like, I herewith, and just play the soundboard clips.
Addy. Yeah, we have to do that. But it has to be each of us saying our own name. Like, it can't even just be Harry saying it. It has to be each of us have recorded our own. Which would be even funnier if he then presses the wrong thing on the soundboard and gets us mixed up again. Like,
hysterical. Oh my god, I can't wait for them to listen to this and be like, what the hell was wrong with you two?
I feel like they do that anyway. I feel like they listen to it and they're like, what is wrong with them? Like,
they're like, are we sure we should have let this happen?
For this? Yeah. It's like, I feel like they need an outlet for this, but that's why we can't get any guests. People are like, we would just be talking about something normal, and then they'll just start going on about gooning or something. Like,
they just can't put us both in the same room. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Like, like they can be guests on our podcast. I could never be on the news podcast because it would not be news.
No.
Could you imagine me, you, and Addie in a room?
Yeah. Oh, Harry would. I don't think he'd be able to wrangle us. Honestly, it was like, I feel really bad, like because I laugh at Addie's shenanigans all the time, and I do know he does it to make me laugh. And I know he does it because he's specifically, presumably, trying to annoy Harry. Like, and then Mark is just, he's like, look at the children, being like children, like, come on, like.
I feel like
no, you can.
I feel like Mark is like, if you're in a grocery store and there's Harry trying to wrangle the children, Mark is like the person walking by the aisle, just like kind of passing and seeing what's happening, maybe slowing down to watch them.
Yeah. He's just like, I'm not getting involved in that. Like, good luck, mate. Like, yeah, absolutely.
See, this is what you miss if you don't watch all the podcasts on the channel.
Yeah, you have to watch them all so you can understand what we're talking about. So tune in to this week's news podcast if you want to understand. And also get Addy's very good review or verbal review of Donkey Kong Bonanza. So
And
yeah.
a great Donkey Kong impression, because at the end I just like I happened to catch like I had it on, I was working and I had it on my second monitor, and I just like happened to turn and I just see like the chest pounding and I just did not expect it. I was like, this is great. This is great.
Yeah, yeah. We're very professional news organization.
Listen, we're written for gamers by gamers. Also, news being told for gamers by gamers.
Yeah, yeah. We're not very professional. Like we're all
But
volunteers
fun.
here. Like but we're very fun. We are very fun. And we have a lot of fun. And that's the most important thing.
That is the most
Like
important thing. That really is. That's what people are looking for.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what they come to us for the fun.
And that's why I need to know why Love and Deepspace is so fun to people.
Yeah, tell me what's actually spicy about it. Tell me how much money you have spent to get your spicy fix on Love and Deepspace, and if you just haven't heard of fan fiction before. Like these are the questions that I need answered from the Love and Deepspace community. And also tell us who your favorite is and why they're not all just the same man with different hair. Like
Yes, please explain. Please explain. I mean, like, I don't like again, I don't hate it. I just don't see like I don't see the strong like love towards it, right? And I've played plenty of other dating sims, right? I have played
yeah,
plenty of dating sims, right? I did the review of Date Everything for the site, and I've played lots of Date Everything, right? And you know, I've played, Colonel Sanders, I love you, right? And I've played other dating sims and other games, where dating is a mechanic in it, right? Like, let's be real, since Persona 3, dating is a big part of the Persona games, right? That harem
absolutely.
route in Persona 5 is hysterical, even if it does make Futaba cry a little bit. But like, so I've played lots of components where it's like there is this dating element, and I'm like, I at this point, even though there are very clearly defined dates, where is the like, yes, this is
Yeah,
this is it. This itches that scritch. Like, or is very
yeah.
funny, or, something.
Yeah, it just seems like it's also taking itself incredibly seriously. Like, because again, I love a little bit of romance in my video games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a framed picture of Garrus Vakarian right here. He's right here. He looks over my table. Like, I love a bit of romance in a video game. Uh, and yeah, I've played like some dating sim adjacent games before. Like,
Yeah.
there's one called Boyfriend Dungeon, I think, where you
Oh
date
yeah, I
all
played
of your
Boyfriend Dungeon. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like a little roguelike dungeon crawler, but you
Mm-hmm.
date all your weapons, which was fun, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, I think yeah, I just don't. There's not this. I'm not finding this story compelling enough
Mm-hmm.
for me to be like, oh, I really want to know what's happening because it just seems
Yes.
like a bit of filler between dates. But yeah, the dates just seem a bit like, oh, okay, yeah, we're at a cafe and okay, and da, da, da.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's just
like,
like
oh, now we're eating here, and like, okay, or like, we're doing this thing. Okay, like this is fine. But yeah, like I'm waiting for that, like, and that's
yeah,
why like I want to see like if I do get, like, I know that there's like the gotcha element, but it's early, and the nice thing about gotcha games, or I feel like the nice thing about gotcha games is you can normally at the beginning grind out enough that
mhm,
you'll be able to pull a 5-star without spending money, right?
yeah.
So I want to get to that point where I pull like, my first, maybe second 5-star thing or 5-star element to see like, okay, is it just that the memories at the beginning are very like loose and vanilla and these dates kind of suck, right? Or is it just that like you have to get and you just have to get far enough to get to the thing, or is it just that this is not for me? And that's fine if it's not for me. There's plenty of other things that are, right? So, that's where it's like I am kind of curious where that a line is, because maybe I just haven't
Yeah,
found it.
yeah.
Cool.
Maybe I haven't. caressed my phone enough. We don't know. Maybe I've just not spent enough time stroking my phone screen.
Maybe I
But it's
haven't
okay
found
because
the
I'm
right
not.
guy.
Yeah, maybe there's another guy who looks different. Who knows? Like he's a secret unlockable. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I did think that the whatever they've got going on at the moment with the prince
Mm-hmm.
queen or king thing, I did think the outfit was cool. Like the he looked cool in it, like with his long hair and his cool
Yes.
like dark king outfit. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I like that. Like
Yeah, and I didn't mind.
it,
I did the combat for it. I didn't mind that.
hmm
Like I was like, that's cool. So like, and that's why I think I'm still so like unsettled on an opinion, because I'm like,
yeah,
are these really, like, have I just not gotten far enough, or is it that, you know, it's just not for me? Because some of the things look cool, some of the outfits look cool, they have different outfits, they have, you know, different settings. So what is it that,
yeah,
that's why I'm like, maybe something will hit and it just hasn't hit yet. Maybe I'll get there, maybe I
yeah,
won't. If you've played the game and there's a
yeah.
turning point for you, let me know what that turning point was. Tell me.
And it yeah, please don't tell me it's after you've spent like $50 because I'm not going to do that. Like
No, I'm not doing that. Definitely not. No, thank you. But if there's a free turning point, if there is a free turning point that maybe down the line I'm like, oh, I could throw $5 in, maybe, right? I'm not opposed. I like having played a bunch of gotcha games. I'm not opposed to spending a little bit of money on gotcha games, right? Because I'm like, well, if it's a good experience and it's free to play, I don't mind throwing a little bit here, a little bit there, right? That's not something I'm opposed to.
yeah,
I am opposed to throwing money at it for it to get good. You need to show me that it's good and that it's worth me spending something on, and then I will be like, oh yeah,
yeah,
okay, I'll throw a little bit here. But like,
yeah.
where's
No,
the good point?
absolutely.
Where is that? I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know when we get good dates.
Yes, please.
And love and deep space. Like I'm sure we can handle our own dates in real life. Please don't message asking for dates. Like
No, do not message me asking for a date. I am happily married. Thank you very much.
yeah, and I just will not date you, so it's fine. Like
There you go. So not us on the dates. Um,
no.
I
But
don't
in
think.
love and deep space, please tell us tips about dates.
Yes,
Like
yes. Let me know, and let me know who's your favorite and why is it not Zane?
yeah. Yeah, because he seems like the one currently with a personality to me, but I don't. I've not played enough.
Personality,
Maybe.
and he's a doctor, so he makes money, and he's smart,
Yeah.
and Grandma likes him.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
he texts with proper grammar, which I enjoy.
feels like a win.
Yep. Checking all the boxes here.
Yeah. Listen, if Grandma likes you, I feel like that's a shoo-in.
Oh yeah, that's a goer. That's a goer. Yeah. My grandmother is incredibly hard to please. I don't think she even likes any of us. So, like
That's hysterical. Yeah. No. But yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a little bit more just to see. But if someone can tell me where the turning point is, if there is a turning point, or if it should have hooked me already, save me some time, I guess. Let me know.
yeah. Yeah.
Let me know in the
Let me know
comments
if I
below.
should just delete it from my phone.
Yeah.
It'd be good. Like
Yeah. It's got a good intro song, like the intro song for a gotcha game. Like when you boot it up and it's
yeah.
loading, I'm like, oh, this is actually nice and relaxing. More than I
Yeah.
expected. It's got vocals. I was like, oh, usually it's just some like rhythmic, repetitive thing. I was like, you have an actual intro song. Impressive.
Yeah.
I'm
Well done,
shocked.
Love and Deep Space.
I can see where some of your budget has gone. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'll stick with it a little longer, and I'll see where we end up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will return to Love and Deep Space on a subsequent episode and let you know whether or not
We
we
gave up.
understand or
Yeah.
not, or if we've given up. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I now dating a character on my phone, or have I
Yeah.
given up?
I am no longer happily married. I'm now dating a man from my phone. Like
You know, crazier things have happened, I guess. So who knows? You know, people fall in love with AI. At least this is, I guess, programmed and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh no. This is the future, isn't it? I'm gonna have to date my phone. Oh
Um,
no.
if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, please check out the subreddit AI is my boyfriend. Because if you want to
You
see
know I
how
got I you know I have to do it now.
it's not
Like
just the future, it's already here.
okay, we'll talk about this next time. We'll talk
V's
about
like,
this
I
next
need some
time.
time to research this. And then
Yeah. I need to go onto Reddit. Like what
once upon a time we had Tumblr, now we have Reddit. And this is where we find out lots of things. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is where we go on the internet to be weird. Like
Before you go down that rabbit hole, though, do you have
uh-huh.
any game or demo recommendations? I did not come with one prepared. I probably should have.
Um to be fair, I also do not have one prepared as I have been very busy for the website. Um, but what we do need to do, because we have discussed it before, is and Harry and I have been playing quite a lot of it this week, is we have to get a gamer social club session of Peak on the
Yes.
go. Because Bing Bong needs to reach the peak, and Harry and I have not been able to do it. Um,
I have not reached the peak. Sean has
mm,
not reached the peak. So,
yeah,
but now
we
we've at
we
least
get
played it.
we get stuck frequently in the tropics because we are bad at well, Harry's actually quite good at getting quite far up the mountain, but inevitably at some point, I will either try and make a jump and not make it, or just do something really ridiculous and just fall off the side of the mountain. Um, and then I'm just dead.
Mm-hmm.
And myself.
Trying to
And it's
remember.
just
So
like,
it's is the tropics is before the ice area.
yeah, it's the
Okay,
second zone.
second
Mm,
zone. Okay, yeah. The
mm.
farthest I've made it is to the ice area.
Yeah, we've not made it out of the tropics yet, but I will take full responsibility for that. One time we were playing and I was thrown from the mountain. If you've not experienced that, I won't spoil it. But yeah, I did. We sort of split up and went two different ways, and
Mm-hmm.
I was very unceremoniously thrown off the mountain to my death. And then another time, um, yeah, most of the other times I just keep falling off things. I'm not very coordinated. I get distracted incredibly easily, and I'm
Fair.
just like, oh, what about this? And then I'll just jump, and then I'll just not make the jump, and then I'll just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm falling. Uh,
Nope. So
we did have
fair.
a
So fair.
we did have a very fun moment because you would get the mushrooms that you could
Mm-hmm.
like throw the shelf mushrooms or the shelf shrooms, I think they're called. So we had a fun moment, and I was like, "Oh, I found this mushroom," and I was like, "Do you think I should eat it?" Anytime of like anything, I'm just like, "How should I eat this?" And he's like, "Yeah, it'll probably be fine." But I was like, "Oh, I can't eat it," and I was just like, "Oh, I can throw it." So I just like threw it over to where he was next to the mountain, and it just like stuck and made this big. And he was like, "What?"
Oh
But no, he was fine. But he was just like, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like,
no.
"Oh, I threw a mushroom," and he was just like, "What do you mean you threw a mushroom?" He's just like, "Why are you so nonchalant?" And I was just like, "I don't know, I just threw it and it turned into a shelf." Like he's like, "That's not normal mushroom behavior." Like, it's just like
Like you're well. Now we know what it does. Now we know.
yeah, that was my thing. But yeah, I was just like, I'm not. Please don't take me in any survival situations. I won't take anything seriously. And if anything remotely surprising happens, I'll just be like, oh, oh well. Like,
I mean, the real question now that they've added this is if the four of us play, who's the first one to engage in cannibalism?
I would definitely be the first person to engage in cannibalism in any sort of a situation. However, probably not in peak because I'm always the first person to die. Like,
Oh no. That's hysterical. I saw that where it's like this is they posted on Steam. This is a totally normal update, nothing crazy, blah blah blah, and then it's just like added cannibalism. It's like,
yeah,
hey, cannibalism it is. Great. Got it.
yeah. So we should definitely have gamer social club. Who eats who first edition of peak?
Who engages in cannibalism first? Who makes it to the top of the mountain? Who dies first? Yeah.
Yeah,
Who actually gets bing
I
bong
will
all
die
the way
first.
up? I don't know. I'm pretty
But we
bad.
do have to. We have to do it for Bing Bong though. We have to do it for Bing Bong. He deserves better. Like
I'm pretty bad at the game. We'll see. One of my friends was pretty good. Uh and then, because Sean and I had only played the once, so we're still
yeah,
very beginnerish. The only reason we made it as far as we did was because they were playing with us, so they really carried us through.
yeah.
Um, because my one friend has made it all the way to the top, but did not have Bing Bong, and did not, and the game
Oh no.
crashed, so he did not get the achievement. So
Oh
I think he's
no.
like chasing that
Poor
achievement now.
yeah, poor Bing Bong. Like
Hmm.
yeah. No, we need to do it for Bing Bong. I love Bing Bong.
Yeah, we'll do it for Bing Bong. That's it. There will
Yeah.
eventually be a episode where we interrupt your normally scheduled like girl pod and we play peak and we see if we make it to the
Yeah.
top of the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. And we will. We'll make it. It'll be fine. It'll be
It'll be
fine.
fine. We
Harry's
got
very
this.
sensible. Like like
But the rest of us, though.
yeah,
Exactly.
that's very true. Mm,
Harry may be sensible. I don't
mm.
know about
It'll be fine.
us.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Can Harry
Mm,
wrangle 3 children at a time? On the news pod, he wrangles you and Addie. Can he wrangle
yeah, that's
you,
very true.
me, and Sean?
Yeah, it'll be fine though because I'll be doing it for Bing Bong, so I'll
That's
be on my
true.
best behavior
Gotta
for
keep you
Bing Bong.
focused. Focus on Bing
Yeah,
Bong.
so as long as I will be put in charge of Bing Bong, and I will make sure nothing bad happens to me or Bing Bong, and that will keep me focused, and then he just has to deal with you and Sean.
Ooh, I hope he's ready. It's like,
Amazing.
ooh, I hope you can handle this.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be so good. It'll be so good. Okay, so let's see. So if an episode gets 50 likes, we do Dark Souls 2. I think the peak because
Yep.
we just want to do it anyway. That can just
Yeah.
happen. That can
Yeah.
just be a
Let us
thing.
know in the comments below if you want to watch us play Peak, but we will probably do it anyway.
Yeah. We'll do it anyway. It's just a matter of whether everybody else gets to see it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just going to play it. But,
Yeah.
if you want to see it, you have to let us know.
Yeah. You have to let us know. Comments below. Like and subscribe. We play games. We talk about games. But if you want to see us play the game, then you got to let us know you're interested in it. Right?
Yeah.
And if you've made it this far, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, like we mentioned, you can catch V with the boys on the weekly news podcast. Find the articles on gamersocialclub.ca. If you need more gamers to chat with, there's also a Discord. So join the Discord in the description. Like, share, subscribe, send this to your friends, leave a comment on something that we did that was wonderful. Tell us your favorite Love and Deepspace boy. Tell us your favorite Gooner game if you have a favorite one. Let us know.
Yes.
Let us know. Maybe we'll try it out.
Yeah.
We give each other game recommendations, but I'm not opposed to taking one from the comments below.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us what your favorite dating sim is, and we will try and play it and let you know if we get it.
Yeah, maybe I've played Dream Daddies, but maybe I'll go for a different ending. Maybe I'll go back to later daters and play an elderly person in, the retirement home, getting laid left, right, and center. I don't know. Let me know a hot boyfriend, been there, done that. There's the Cthulhu one that I can't think of now. Because there's one where you can
Oh
date
yeah,
the eldritch.
I've seen. Yeah, I've seen the Cthulhu one because I love me some Cthulhu.
I can't think of
Yeah.
the name of it now. But we'll play them. Panzer models, whatever. Date tanks, date helicopters, whatever. Not opposed to it.
Yeah, the Cthulhu one is called Sucker for Love.
Thank you.
Like,
Yes. I could not get there. I'm like, I know I have access to it. I have it. Like, whoa, what is the name of it? Sucker for Love. And there was a sequel too.
yeah,
So, we'll play them. Let us know down below. Give us your game recs. Doesn't have to be a dating sim, but those are just a little fun. And again, if you're listening on a podcast service, add a 5-star review. I think you can also leave comments. So feel free to do so on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Odyssey. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of podcast services. There's so many to name, but wherever you're listening, we appreciate you listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.